right, for the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've been to Farmington a couple weekends in a row and Mooresville to do some front side testing. And now we're going back to front side, but no prep.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with Farmington. You were still on the slick the first time we went.
Yeah.
So, was there any couple other changes made you want?
For Farmington, the first time, believe I just took some weight out of it and left everything else the same, and then just went and tested. Was gonna try to run some front side prep stuff, but it was on a DO5, so I mean it went decently quick, but not what it needed to do for where I was wanting to go.
Right. So we're gonna, we'll show. They're gonna see all the clips right here of the Farmington run the first week, and then the second week in a row went back on a radial.
Yeah, I ordered some pro brackets, which that was after some last minute changes that TJ Burnett helped me with up at his machine shop, Burnett's Machine, with some stuff with the heads and things, made some small changes to try to pick up a little more power. And then we went to Shady Side. I ran on 26s there, so you can put that in there if you want.
Yeah,
made
forgot
like
about
2
that.
passes after sitting in the rain all weekend. And then decided I was going to put radials on it because I also changed the rear gear before Shady Side because I was going to change it after Farmington the first time. So it's kind of a bunch of side quests all at once.
There was a lot going on right there in between for, like I said, 2 or 3 weeks there. So, but yeah, with Farmington on radial, run rather
Yeah,
good.
it ran good. I mean, they showed the time, but we may clip it out here, but then somebody will probably comment it. So, I mean, it really don't matter. I mean, the cars went as fast as it did with the Coyote in it, which I'm happy about that. And it's also like 300 pounds heavier with the doors and stuff and some things we've added. So the motor's making power, it's happy, everything's happy, and now it's just time to keep figuring out small things. That's why I've been testing so much, and it's how you get better, and it just has to pay off that way. And you can't never test too much.
So just basically kind of been staying on the down low a little bit.
Yeah. I've just been enjoying getting passes in the car, just getting comfortable with it. I mean, I really didn't I got some passes last year in it, but it was all over the place trying to kill me, and
Yeah, with the
it just wasn't ideal. And then, so now I've just enjoyed going out on a Friday night or Saturday or whatever and just, making laps and getting comfortable with it and learning some things on it, dialing in the tune a little bit.
Right. And then now we go to Mooresville for the 704 Outlaws.
Yeah.
Make a couple of test passes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just testing. I mean, that's the kind of a race you go down there. It's 50-50 chance. The track could be there, could not be there. Usually it's there. Sometimes it's not. So sometimes people miss their tune-ups. Everybody talks about no prep versus radial, and a lot of the radial guys, sometimes you'll see they don't change nothing. So first round they'll go up there and do really good. Next round they'll spin, or vice versa. And you kind of just got to tune to the track conditions. It's even like they pushed back the race an hour because of the heat. In my case, I was hoping we would run at normal time, but
yeah,
just it is what it is. That's part of it. And I was just going out there trying to have some fun because I was going to go to Farmington the following day for the Drive-By Mafia race, which I think they canceled it due to heat.
Yeah.
So the heat was pretty bad over the weekend. So I think went out first round at Mooresville to Chris Tate, got me by like a bumper. I think I've got something going on with my parachute because I was kind of sliding through the finish line a little bit. Come out late. I think it's got some holes in it.
Yeah, it's getting a little.
It's wore out. So we're going to replace that now. And then it didn't really scare me, but I was just like, this is kind of dumb. Why am I trying to go fast? Just when you're on the brakes and you're sliding like that, there's nothing you can do. I mean, you just kind of drive out of it. And I told myself for a few weeks, since having the baby, and just been trying to be smart about racing and you can wreck anywhere. Anybody can wreck into you. You can wreck into somebody. Whatever the case is, but you know, you try to minimize those situations that you put yourself in because, you know, here at the shop, you know, really, if I get hurt really bad or something, and not much less for Brooke and the baby and stuff, like, you know, things could be really bad. Like, and so, I mean, somebody probably say just quit racing altogether, but, you know, you can't just do that. But so I just have thought of, my thought process was to minimize a sketchy situation. You know, some people may look at Natural Bridge and think it's not sketchy, but to me, in a car that I'm not 100% comfortable in yet, just because of the last year I had with it, it was definitely wasn't sure what it was gonna do.
Right.
So I thought that going fast was kind of dumb, like I said, and I figured my thought process, like I said, was if I go to this track and I'm at the 330 and I start spinning, you know, when you have control of it, like you can let out the gas and just stop. You don't have to keep driving it or doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just sliding and on, you know,
But there's a
at
difference
the
between
car's
prep
mercy.
and no prep.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference, and it's just the situation, and you know, everybody has their own opinion about stuff, and I'm sure I'll get crucified for it, but it ain't no
Well,
big deal. I just try to race smart and race where I can when I can, and you know, just you gotta think about things. Like everybody's told me, you know, since you have a kid, you'll think about things differently.
You will.
So,
Trust me, I'm already seeing it in you. But we'll show all the clips of all the tracks right there, of the passes you made there. And the car itself is doing everything that you're asking it to do.
yeah, but
Sure
I
enough.
can put a tune-up in it for a ET, a 60 foot and a 330. It'll do it. I can hang X amount of weight off the nose and it'll stay down. I can take it off for the rear. I can change shock settings and see something change. I can change a gear shift point and watch it change and see where it picks up. And that's the main thing with all the tests. And I've just learned a lot of things to look at and fix some small issues and just sorting it out.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll show them the clips here of what you made, then we'll get on the Natural Bridge right here. All right, here we go. Round one, 704 Outlaw. right, here we go. First round of Extreme Street. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It happens sometimes. You hate to go and draw somebody you know. We did draw TJ first round right here. Round one, Natural Bridge.
Yeah, had to race TJ Burnett, which I mentioned him earlier. He did some machine work for me on some heads and stuff. And so he actually was the one that kind of taught me into going his on and on. Just go with me. Of course, we go together, and I draw him first round, first pair of Extreme Street. So we staged, and I know there was a lot of people confused on the start line, I guess, of what happened. Which luckily, I've gotten in this habit of when I bump in, my car rocks a little bit, so I've gotten in the habit of kind of dragging the brake, which a lot of people do that, and I'm not a big multitasker, so it was a little tricky trying to think of letting go of the button and holding the brake and letting off the brake, and a lot going on in a short amount of time. But anyway, got it staged. I think I was staged maybe before him. I stayed on the brake. I seen him stage, and then I'm sitting there and my foot's still on the brake because I kind of let go of the button and the brake at the same time, which might not be an ideal thing because I might let go of the button and still hold the brake. But anyways, my light goes red, I guess, but I was just watching for yellow. I seen yellow, and I guess I was watching his yellow, and he went, then I went behind him. And, being that we went together, we both knew what we went, and I think they said I come around him on the top end, which obviously I guess he had the hit that way, but we went together. Either one of us was okay with hopping in second chance, and one of us going on to Extreme Street. So it was kind of a best case scenario for the situation to happen, which I've heard that there are people watching that it happened to other people, so you don't know. It's an older track, timing system things, tree malfunctions. But I think at the end of the day, Corey was kind of, I guess, the race master, and he said that, I guess, he kept my chip in and drew me for second round.
Yeah, he had a final call on it, but he made sure of everything 100% before he made the call. So
yeah, at the end of the day, me and TJ were laughing about it, and we was just happy we had a good race that was really close.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. All right, so on to round two.
Yep, I raced a big single cab
Square body
turbo LS setup. I think he's a local to there.
Yeah, a Skywalker. I believe that's what it was called.
I've seen him at Dig or Die. I've seen him on the street. I've seen him a bunch of places. So I don't really know what to expect. My first round ET was pretty quick for what it was. So I basically left everything alone, and I was gonna chip away at it a little bit, but you'll notice in the video the car laid over a little bit, and I had changed some things, and I'm glad it happened when it did because it slowed down like half a second and changed those things back for the later rounds, and it fixed it. But probably shouldn't have changed what I did, but it is what it is, and you don't know unless you try something. And
it worked out.
Luckily, like I said, I had a tune-up in there that I was going to go up there with and, try to keep going faster. I don't want to stay slower, so luckily it worked out with who I had. It's hard to race a truck like that. Those things are heavy, and, you got to make some power, and it's no prep stuff. It's hard to put all the power down, and, it is what it is.
Right, here we go, next round, Extreme Street. I believe we drawed our nitrous Fox body over here. round 3, Nitrous Mustang.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was a big block or a small block. I never looked. And actually, I think it's one of the guys. He actually messaged me and asked me if I was coming, and I feel bad. I told him no, that I wasn't coming, and
then here you are.
I did show up, but it is what it is. And I think we maybe left together. I think he might have lost a tire after watching back some videos, but I just didn't know what to expect. Those guys run there a lot. They know the track. They know what their car will do there, and it's my first time. And I mean, I just kind of maintained from first round and kind of was just racing a scramble a little bit. I mean, really didn't have a lot of boost in the car at all today because I was just, like I said, I was still kind of in my head about the surface being a little sketchy. So just kind of trying to do what I had to do to get by with just enough.
And then, like I said, well, after you got through that round right there, before we get to the next round, the passes you've got on the track now, what are you thinking as far as the track, as far as the surface? And
Well, I'd only been in the left lane. I went down the left lane and drove down it earlier to look at it. And I can't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing like a 330 foot mark. There was like a 1/4 inch thick gap of asphalt, like step up in it and stuff. And I know you said a lot of people were like, oh, that transition in the left lane, everybody's talking about it, how bad it is. And so I just kept getting left lane every round, and I actually made my fastest pass in the left lane, which was against Marquise there in the 3rd round. I come back, I mean, and just going the times I went Friday night, what I went Saturday was way more fun on that surface, going quite a bit slower with a lot less mile an hour. It was way more fun.
all right.
All right, here we are, semifinals in Extreme Street. Dropped a little S10 over here, Trevor. See what happens. Baby, we're going to the finals in Extreme Street.
All right, next round you got Trevor, and you've raced him before, the little S10. Yeah, your brother's over there making faces at you, but you've raced him before at Dig or Die, so you kind of had an idea of probably what he would run.
Not really. I mean, it's a different surface, but I raced him at Dig or Die. I raced him Coastal Plains last year, and he's really bad to wheelie because he gets after it pretty hard, and that's where I should have been getting after it was 60 at 330 because he had me sweating. I mean, we left and I looked over and seen him, and I grabbed the scramble just out of instinct because I didn't know if it would take it or not. I didn't really feel any wheel speed. I stayed in it. I know we talked afterwards, kind of talked mile an hour, ET stuff, and he said all he remembers was just right at the end. I just clipped right by him. Just I don't know how I got around him, but somehow, some way it did. And I think part of it too is that track is really short in the shutdown. If you run it through the 8th, you got to be on your stuff. And
Oh yeah.
there's probably a couple passes I was clipping it early just because you got track awareness of where you're at, but it's different when you've never been there before, and there's just so much going on so fast. You just don't know until you do it.
I don't think you could probably watch 100 videos of that track from different angles, and I don't think not one video really does the track justice as far as the shutdown until you see it in person.
Yeah.
Because we've seen a couple that I was like, are they
There was
going to get
some of them,
stopped?
yeah, I didn't think they would get
A
stopped.
couple of them didn't. So
I didn't think against Trevor I'd get stopped. I had the brake pedal through the floor basically because my parachute's on a button. I need to really get it wired into the Holly, but then I think of all the scenarios of everything. I like having it on the button, but when you're on the scramble and the parachute button, it would go back to the multitasking thing.
right.
I'm bad to let off the scramble when I hit the parachute, so I stayed on the scramble and didn't hit the parachute. So
Oh, gosh.
it's just a lot going on really fast.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we are in the finals of Extreme Street. We got Turbo, obviously, versus a Nitrous Fox body over here. There's your winner, Extreme Street.
Okay, now we're in the finals against another
And,
knocker.
yeah. We were in the semis, and that was the only turbo car left in my class. So we tried not to let them make nitrous great again. So had to. It's like the guy said in the finals when he said it's hard to run with them turbos on top end. So
Yeah, turbo doing turbo things.
had to show them the way.
Now, this, you know, like I said, right there, you run the right lane. That was the first time
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah. And it was, the sun was right in my eyes with sweat pouring down my face. So
Did
it was tough to see the tree.
did you change anything that pass versus running the left lane?
No, I didn't change anything at all from the previous round to that one. I basically left the first round tune-up in the car all day.
And just kind of might have tweaked here and there, moved
Yeah.
something here and there. Not
I like-
no
I
baby
like-
steps all day.
I mostly like being fast first round. Well, fast is a relative term, but I would rather be quicker first round than having to chase it every round.
Right.
So like, that's just kind of my thinking, my strategy when I go places. But
Are you giving away a secret there? Or just
not really. I mean, that was like when we went to Nashville. I knew I was racing Andrew Lavender, so I was
Right.
like, I had to be fast first round. So.
Right.
And then, like I said, I got my own head, went and made a test pass, and went a tenth slower. So
Right.
that's just the thing. You know, you think so much about stuff. I think when you're trying to chase a number, I've heard other people say the same thing. You like to be decently quick off the trailer.
Yeah, kind of set the tone, you know, so you know, like I said, know what to expect. And
This was also the time they were dirt track racing, and the dust was just flying over on the track. So
oh yeah, that was kind of wild.
I didn't
to
really pay
see.
much attention to it, but then in the video after we ran, you could see the dust behind the cars.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
coming up pretty good.
I think that's kind of why they was trying to get done as quick as they was, and I was on board and agreed with them right
Yeah,
there.
I kind of
So,
hot. I also I kind of hot lapped into the finals. I mean, I had like 5 minutes to cool down, which is fine. And it's a street class, but I feel like there's probably just a handful of those cars that probably get drove on the street that were in that class. But
Yeah.
that's opinions, you know.
Well,
People said I was kicking some puppies and stuff,
yeah,
but
whatever. But if you look at, like I said, if you look at some of the cars that was in that class,
hey, everybody fit the rules, so
They
they all
fit
went
the
through
rules.
tech, and that's the only thing that matters.
seemed like even basically for you and another team that went up there, the small tire guys,
Yeah, I think North Carolina is holding the keys to Natural Bridge right now.
that's something that got mentioned up there before we left. Something about the North Carolina
Yeah, I
people.
think it
coming
was
up
their
there.
first time there.
Yeah, first time for them, first time for you.
Yeah, I can't speak for them, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to speak for them because that's their business there. but-
everybody's like, and everybody asked me, why didn't you run small tire? I said, because I know Team Denver's going. They're going to be in the finals.
Right.
So,
And they were.
yeah,
So
it's
you know,
funny. Yeah, people even doubted it too. I heard people talk about, oh, Team Denver's coming. Well, they're not going to make it. They're not this. They're not that. And sure enough, I mean, they did their thing every round.
Yeah.
They're consistent A to B passes.
Well, like I said, it worked out. They won for the North Carolina small tire. You won for North Carolina Extreme Street.
Yeah.
So I mean,
It
like
was
I
a
said, we're
fun day.
not speaking for them. We're speaking a little bit for North Carolina. So
Yeah.
so what's next on the plans of?
I guess just gonna keep everything, put a little more weight in it. I was probably a little too heavy for Natural Bridge, but put some more weight in it and just get ready for dig or die. I mean, I changed the gear, a couple other small things, and need some new data for it. Just test. That's all you can do. I've gotten to where I like just making passes in the car. I mean,
So we're probably going to find a couple places to test, like I said, for dig or die, and
I'll probably just test on the front side and just everybody runs traction control and stuff, and you know, just get some drive shaft curves. I mean, can't really. I mean, that's not really a secret, but like I've got some drive shaft curves from a front side that I used at other surfaces that are like on the street or something, and same tune up from a track, and it goes right down the street.
yeah,
Well,
and it works.
other people may be doing the same thing. I don't know, but you know, it's kind of getting to that point. You're a little secretive about stuff now because, like, I feel like I have a competitive car in both some small tire races and street car classes.
Well,
So
yeah, you got to be smart about it.
just figuring it out. I mean, I got a combo that's working. We fixed a lot of chassis issues I think I was having with Coyote.
Well, that probably just about does it then. Everybody leave us some comments. Let us know what you think.
If y'all see any more puppies running around now, call me. I'll come kick them.
Yeah, well, if you
That's,
fit the
that's the
if you
word
fit the
now
rules,
that we're puppy kicking this and that. But bad thing is I unload this thing, drive it through a drive-through somewhere, take it out. I mean, literally, there's a car show in 2 weeks. Well, we were going to trailer it closer because like 2 hours, an hour and a half away. But I mean, we'll unload it somewhere close, 30 minutes away or something. Drive it in. I mean,
yeah.
I like driving the car. Like that's what people don't understand. And also, I feel like I'm significantly heavier than other small tire cars.
Right. And speaking of that particular car show, there will be some,
Yeah, it should be a lot of people there. It's for Clifton.
Clifton Cottle right there. He's going through
Fundraiser.
some
Hard
health
time.
issues right now, so wish him the best and prayers to him and his family. But
Yeah, you gotta live life to the fullest. You never know what's coming next.
that's true. But like I said, you guys leave us some comments. Let us know what you think of the race passes there, and we'll catch you on the next one.